What is up, DS3TV? We are back for another video. This one is the Deep Sea Meta by TierZoo, and this is going to be a really good video. I know we love TierZoo on this channel, so that's why I think I picked this one. I forgot it's been some time since I did my last video, since I did my last few videos, and yes, because and partly because I got into a car accident last week, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel. Want to get 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, September 13th, and also put in the comment section what do you want me to react to next. And yeah, if I like the comment, that means that the reaction should be coming up within the next day or two. And yeah, so yeah, just know that. And usually I like to comment and people see, like, you know, that I react to their video and, you know, stuff is good. So yeah, keep doing that, and it's always fun to react to people videos that people, you know, that want me to react to their videos. It's pretty fun. So yeah, you know, like the videos that they want, that videos that they saw that they wanted me to react to. And yeah, it's always pretty fun to do that. And yeah, let's get into it and let's learn more about the Deep Sea Meta.
Video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club.
Honestly, the hayfish looks weird outside of, I mean, the hagfish looks so weird outside of the water. Like, in the water, it looks pretty normal. Like, it looks, you know, like, of course, it looks kind of like a eel, but yeah, it looks like a normal eelish fish. But when you take it out of the water, it looks completely disgusting. I didn't know that a shark could not penetrate, like, could not really, like, bite into a hagfish. I did not know that.
The different servers in this game all have the same basic mechanics and gameplay. All of the same stats are important for every build, and all of the same build types can generally be found in most servers, with the exception of the Deep Sea. The Deep Sea, or Abyssal server, has by far the most unorthodox, unintuitive, and unforgiving meta in the entire game. Sure, some other servers may have an extremely weird day-night cycle, or constant damage dealt by the overworld, or a really unbalanced meta where how good your build is gets defined by how well it can play around the top build. But nothing comes close to how different the Abyssal server is. It's so different that I actually can't even make a traditional tier list for it. Why? Well, because nobody knows what the meta really looks like down there.
That's true, because not everything is, like, widely known. That's insane. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you could not make a tier list about the Deep Sea. Like, because not everybody, like, not everything is known about the Deep Sea yet. So that's insane.
While data miners have managed to collect a few Twitch clips and screenshots, for the most part the Abyss is still a mystery. And this is because it's the only server in the game that's region locked. The pressure setting on this server is so high that it will easily one-shot any player trying to get into the Abyss. Conversely, the only way the Abyssal player base can survive there is by speccing into extremely high internal pressure to counter it. But that means if they try to leave, they explode.
Yeah.
Although there's not really any way to make a tier list for the Abyss, I can still discuss the strategies that are popular in the meta, and which abilities give you the best chance of success. You can pretty much just forget that the stealth stat even exists. There's no reason
to... Or they look really, really weird.
Waste any points on camouflage, because there's no light down there. This is why every player there is just pale. Aesthetics, palette swaps, camouflage, all total wastes of evolution points. Now, when I said there's no light, that isn't entirely true. There's no ambient light, but perhaps one of the most important abilities to learn how to use is Bioluminescence. Over 90% of the player base uses this move, so mastering it is key to carving out a niche for yourself. One of the most common mistakes new players make is assuming that the best use of Bioluminescence is to see. Make no mistake, trying to use Bioluminescence as a flashlight in order to spot other players is easily the worst use of this ability. Bioluminescence won't help you find...
I've never seen that fish before. That's a weird looking fish. Like, it just has glowing eyes.
Other players, but it will help other players find you.
And it reminds me of, like, a supervillain.
So you need to be very careful about how you use this ability. Otherwise, you might end up giving your position away to an enemy player. The best uses for this ability are to communicate and to bait. Communication is pretty self-explanatory. You can use bioluminescence to talk to other players, signaling danger or finding other players to party up with. But perhaps the more infamous use of bioluminescence is as bait. Both viperfish and anglerfish are both prime examples of this, using their glow to attract other players looking for a free win. Both are severely lacking in mobility and rely on their trap in order to get their targets within the striking range, but make up for it with their ridiculously high damage bite attack. This can be a double-edged sword though, since if a more powerful player is nearby, you're still giving away your location. A few other niche uses can be to use light as a distraction, almost like throwing a flashbang or flare, somewhat similar to the octopus's smokescreen ability. The other most important thing to know about the Abyss meta is how to survive in a server centered not around plants and herbivores, but around scavengers. Without light, no loot actually spawns down there, at least not in the form of plants. Luckily, there's no better area in the game to be a scavenger, because every elimination from the open ocean server leaves behind loot that falls to the abyssal seafloor. When a whale player gets defeated, it can turn the ocean floor into a year-long party, where players that would normally be enemies come to enjoy the event together. One major player that tends to show up at these but is rarely seen anywhere else is the Sleeper Shark, a build which admittedly I should have included in my shark video. Sleeper Sharks have the lowest mobility of any shark, instead having chosen to put their points into resistances like pressure resistance, acid resistance, and temperature resistance.
That's pretty good resistance though. Like I would take that. In like a deep sea meta, I would take that.
And unlike certain other extremophiles, these perks actually come in handy at the bottom of the ocean, especially near vents and volcanoes. Apparently this build has a great matchup against the Colossal Squid, but because neither the Colossal Squid nor Sleeper Shark have ever attended a major tournament, most players, myself included, have yet to see how on earth Sleeper Sharks can win that matchup. The last thing I want to highlight is the unmatched success of the Tube Worm. It's found a way to tap into an infinite source of XP by making great use of the heat resistance perk. They've got completely uncontested control over one of the game's resources. Even Sleeper Sharks can't handle that level of heat, so these players can basically just farm as much XP as they want. Now, if someone were to come up with a Predator build that could resist the heat of the hydrothermal vent, and also be powerful enough to pierce the armor of the Tube Worm, they could potentially get a really high score very quickly. But so far, it's never been done, and so for now, Tube Worms pretty much rule the Abyss. Now, one last thing you might notice is that none of these builds have any hair. Is this because mammals can't really survive in the Abyss? Maybe. But it's also possible that the Abyssal community happens to be huge fans of Dollar Shave Club.
That was a good segue. But yeah, there's not a lot you can really talk about with that, I guess.
Roman from Facts in Motion for teaching me some new tricks with After Effects that I used in the...
Okay. So that was it, because I was wondering if that was like another part of the video, but yeah. Yeah, thank you for watching the video with me, guys, and, you know, guys, gals, and pals, and, yeah. Talk to you guys in the next video, and, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, subscribe to the channel. Want to get 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, September 13th. Yeah, so talk to you guys in the next video, and peace.